Hey everybody, welcome to the channel or welcome back to the channel. I really appreciate you stopping by to check out my content. Hey, it's been 14 days now with the Remarkable Paper Pro Move as my only device. I've not used any larger devices or any devices outside of the Remarkable Paper Pro Move. So it's been quite an interesting 2 weeks. I mentioned in a video about a week ago that I had a little bit of frustration and I had considered returning the device. And of course, I didn't do that. I started to build out my own templates as I missed the ability in some other devices to create headers, table of contents, linking, and stuff like that. And of course, all that can be achieved on the Remarkable devices with a good PDF template. So throughout the last 2 weeks, I've used it in meeting notes for work, created a template for that. I also used it for journaling, created a template for that. And I used it for sermon notes in church and created a template for that. And I wanted to show you those templates today and just kind of, show you what my workflow has been. So let's go ahead and dig into that. So for taking notes in business or in meetings at work, what I typically do on all of my devices, I use a PDF hyperlinked document, and I really needed something that was formatted for the move. And I featured this in a previous video that I did, so this may be redundant. And if you have seen this, stick around for the other couple of templates that I want to show you, as they're pretty cool. So for taking notes at work, for me, it's mostly meetings, and I have regularly recurring meetings with certain people around certain topics. And I typically have about 30 different people or groups that I meet with on a fairly regular basis, and they fit within 6 different categories. So I just have 6 different colored notebooks, and each one of these notebooks on the move contains up to 21 notes. And what I do is I group those categories by color. So all of my folks or people that I meet with that would fit into one category, I might do those blue, this one is green, red, and so on and so forth, and just duplicate these notebooks as needed. But what they look like when you open it up is, it's got a title page. You can handwrite a title in here. What I typically say to do is, go into the paintbrush, into the thickest setting. I choose a color that's very similar to the color of the notebook that I'm working with. And then I just put the title of the notebook in there so that it can be seen as you're looking at it here. It can be seen and very easily identified. And then here I've got the hyperlinking or the headers or the outlines that you'd find on other devices. So there's a place for 22 different notes. And I can say that this is just, I'm just going to make up let me get off of that paintbrush and go back to just a pen. But I can just say that this is just a meeting with boss. Handwriting is horrible sideways. And then I've got all this hyperlink. So the numbers over here are in a box where if I touch this number, it'll go to note number 1. And then I've got the place to put the subject of the note, which may be the same thing. It may just be meeting with boss again. And then it may, I'd put the date of the meeting in there, and then I can write my notes here. And I've got 2 pages that I can write notes on. Here's the second page, it's clean. And on every note page, I've got a back button. As you can see, it's on both pages. That back button takes me back to the table of contents so that I can, reference other notes. If I've already taken up to 10 notes, but I need to go back to one, say, for example, if these are weekly meetings with my boss, and I needed to go back to a meeting 2 weeks ago, I could just find it on here and go and touch that one. The numbers here correspond with a number in the top right so that you know that you're on the correct note and that you didn't touch the wrong number on there. So that's just a really cool way of keeping track of meeting notes. I sell these on Etsy, a 6-pack, all 6 of these colors. It's a total of $5 to get all 6 of these. You can add pages to it as you need to. For example, I said, each one of these notes has 2 pages, but I can go into the page overview and I can add as many pages that I want just by holding down on a page and hitting duplicate. And I can do that over and over and over again, and it will not break the hyperlinking. So it really makes it a perpetual notebook. The way that I use these is that when I fill up the 22, I would probably in the title of this notebook just put the date range of the notes on this particular topic. Like this one might be meeting with boss, and then archive that or put it in a subfolder and start a new one with the new date range. So another thing that I've been doing in the move that I usually do in the bigger Remarkable, but I really wanted to try it out here, and it caused me to create my own template, and that's doing a daily journal. I'm not going to show you my actual daily journal. I'll show you the template for it. So when I go into this, of course, I've still got I'm going to go to the cover page, and I'll show you how this one works as well. So I do have a cover page, and you can put a date on here if you wanted to. This template is made to be, it's not tied to any particular year. You can use it in 25, 26, 27. You can use it in 2050 if you want to, and I'll show you why that is. So the way that I've designed this, and I'm going to swipe over here, I've got the first 6 months on this page. All of these are hyperlinks. I've got the second 6 months on this page. So, well, let me just show you September. At the time of this video, it is September 19th. So I can come in here and click on September 19th, and it will take me to September 19th's page. And the reason I don't tie this to a particular year is so that you can use it perpetually year after year. For example, today is Friday, and I'll just write that in there. And the year is 2025. This will make sense in just a second. I'm going to just say that I'm in New York City, New York. That's not where I'm at. But anyway, so, and then I can go ahead and write my notes. So I've only got one page per date, but just like the other notebook I was showing you before, if I fill up this first page here with notes for Friday, September 19th of 2025, and I need a second page, I can still come over here and do page overview. I can hold down and duplicate that page and continue writing. Where the power comes in on this particular type of a journal, by it not be tied to a year, is let's just say that I want to keep using this year over year over year. So I've got my notes from Friday, September 19th of 2025. Let's say that I fill up this notebook and now I'm rotating around, and now I'm coming to September 19th of 2026. Well, I would simply just come to page overview. I would long press on that, duplicate it, open that page up. I would need to clear it off, so I'm going to double tap my eraser and say erase all. Now, I don't know what day it's going to fall on next year. Let's just say that it's Saturday, but this time it's 2026, and I'm in Chicago. Well, I'm on vacation this week, for example. And then I can write my notes here. Now I can quickly and easily just go back and say, gosh, what was I doing last year on this same day? Oh, there it is. And it just gives you kind of a real quick reference of what happened a year ago. Or if you continue to use this over and over and over again, and you have those years lined up page by page, it makes a really good way to, have a little bit of nostalgia about what you were doing on this day a year ago. So this is all hyperlinked. As I said, every page has this back button that will take you back to the either the first half or the second half, depending on which month you're in, and you can navigate to any day that you want to get to. So just something that I made. That's the way that I love to journal. So hopefully somebody finds value in that. I've got that on Etsy as well. I'm also selling this for $5. And like I said, it's usable year over year over year. And then the other thing that I've been using this for is that every Sunday I take one of my e-ink devices to church. Typically, it's usually going to be the Remarkable. In this case, I've been taking the Remarkable Paper Pro Move. So I had to create a template for my sermon notes. And once again, I'm going to show you the blank template instead of my actual notes. But so when you open this up, I've got a nice cover page. Let me show you this real quick. Got a nice cover page with Bible and a cross and sermon notes and crosses on a hill. And then I've got an index on the next page where there are 21 different sermons. For example, this could be 21 weeks worth of sermons that you have. And I did do some writing in here just as a test. But the same principle as those notes that I was showing you before, the numbers over here are hyperlinks. So if this is Sunday, September 14th, and the title of the sermon is The Greatest Gift, Week 4, I can put that in there. I can click on this. It's going to take me to, and I've actually done some scribbling on this just as an example. But I can put my sermon title. Once again, it's The Greatest Gift, Week 4. Speaker is Pastor Nathan Mills. It's Sunday, September 14th. Then I've got a block here. Now this is not yellow in the document. It's just got a plain background. I took the yellow highlighter and highlighted that just to make it stand out on the page a little bit more. But that is clear, just like the rest of the document is. But as the pastor, calls off scriptures, I can jot those down in this box up here for later reference if I want to go back and deep dive a little bit further. And then I can take my notes down here and, put any highlights in different colors that I want to put on there. And on this one, I've given it 4 pages of notes. And so it's got 4 before you hit the next time. And, I was just playing around with, numbering the scriptures here just with my pen. That's not a part of the document itself. But and once again, you can add pages as necessary. And it's also got this back button on every page that takes you back to the table of contents. So just a really short video. There was a lot of interest when I talked about my templates on the last video. Got a lot of feedback on that. A lot of you went out and purchased it, and I really appreciate that. That really helps support the channel. As you know, I said that I'm independent. I'm not big enough that I've got any kind of support or sponsorship or anything like that. So I really do depend on, folks liking the video, hitting the like button, subscribing to the video, building up the subscriber base. Commenting helps distribute the video further. And then, you going out and purchasing those PDF files it's really humbling, the folks that went out there and did that, and I really appreciate that. Anyway, just wanted to share those things with you since there was so much interest in the last one. Just some additional templates that I've made. If you'd like to see any additional templates for the move, I would be glad to consider making those for you. I'm having a lot of fun doing this. This device is really fun to use, and just all the different ways that I've been using it over the last 2 weeks. So anyway, thanks for watching the video, and like and subscribe, and hope to see you in the next one.